Would you please welcome to the stage Kale, Cabe and Kate? Thanks. When I fell in love with Adrian, I'd already been a mother for 5 years and I had 2 small children. And I'd done most of that 5 years on my own. And so I developed this world around me with these children. And Adrian, he was a single man in his 30s and he was fairly set in his ways and he had a lot of order and structure to his life. So we were kind of like these 2 worlds coming together, trying to see if or how we would fit. And we didn't fit very well or very easily, but we threw ourselves into it. We were deeply in love, and in 6 months Adrian had moved in, and within 2 years we'd had a 3rd child and we'd moved to another house. But even that 3rd child, I just kind of pulled into my orbit, and it felt really like there was me as mother and the 3 kids, and there was Adrian as kind of other. We knew we were going in the same direction, but we were kind of tracking along on separate paths, but just hanging out together. And this didn't always affect anything. Things were changing under the surface. And sometimes something would kind of pop to the forefront and it would really hit home. So this is about one of those times. Adrian hated holidays. His idea of a holiday and his regime of life was that twice a year he went to his mum's house for the weekend. And she lives in the far west of the state, so it would be a 4.5-hour drive on Friday night. We'd spend Saturday watching TV, and then we'd leave middle of Sunday morning and we'd come home. But I had grander and sort of more adventurous plans for holidays, and also I saw holidays as, bonding and family memory-making times. So we had a few holidays, but then we hit a lean year. And so I suggested that maybe we go to his mum's for an unscheduled visit, maybe for a bit longer at the Easter holidays. We can maybe go to Mount Gambier or the Limestone Caves. Adrian was really resistant, mainly because it was a lean year and he was a self-employed barrister and he wanted to work. So the compromise was that he would come for the weekend and then I would stay for a few more days with the kids. So that's what happened, and then on the 4th day, I'm driving home with the 3 children, and it's April the 1st. And it's a long, boring road, and I'd always wanted to play a decent April Fool's joke. So I say to the kids, why don't we send Daddy a text and play a trick? Yeah, great idea. So what will we send? I don't know. Okay, why don't we say one of you's been hurt? Not too seriously, we don't want to scare him. But enough to get his attention. What about Tilly? We'll say, you fell off one of those big haystacks and broke your arm. Okay, great. So my oldest son, he's going, you sure this is a good idea? Yeah, it's right. So write the text. So say, hi, Adrian, there's good news and bad news. The bad news is Tilly's fallen off a haystack and broken her arm, but the good news is she's okay. So send that. So he sends that. So pretty quickly we get the text back. That's terrible. Is she okay? And I say to kids, no, now's the time we call the joke off. We don't want to take it too far, so send a text back, she's okay, April Fools. So we do that. And we don't hear anything. Oh, I think that's fine, joke's over, we just keep driving. He's probably been called into court, I don't know. So about 2 hours later, about an hour from home, and another text comes in. I've adjourned court and I've cancelled my conference this afternoon and I'll be home as soon as I can. Which bit of April Fools on the text didn't you get? So we quickly send a text, Tilly's fine, she hasn't broken her arm, it was an April Fool's joke. And just as quickly comes back this, you have got to be kidding, exclamation mark. So I think I might just put the phone down for a while, drive a bit more slowly, give him a bit of time to kind of absorb the news. Maybe by the time we get there, he might be laughing. I mean, really, it's quite funny, isn't it? So we get home and he's not laughing and he comes out and he's got a lot of energy in his body, his dark face, and he's like, what were you thinking? I've told the judge, I told the prosecutor, I've cancelled the case. All because my daughter, she had broken her arm and I had to get home. And I'm like, what about the text? Which bit of that didn't you read? There was a lot of bluster and bravado and I was uncomfortable. It was not, sort of never good when your joke backfires. But I also thought it was pretty funny. But underneath all of that, I was beaming. I just thought, you did that for us? You came home and you wanted to be with us? Hold my hand, we're in this together. Thank you.